Hey, Maria back with another video. It's 6:42 p.m. and it is, I keep thinking it's Monday. Of course, I'm going to think it's Monday, but it's actually Tuesday. We all know yesterday was the 4th of July. So today is July 5th and I'm here to make a video. So, um, you know, during the weekends, when I'm by myself a lot, I have a lot of time on my hands. And even though I might be doing work or whatever, I'm here by myself, so I'm going to start having unwinding periods. Believe me, I'm a solitary person. I prefer to spend the majority of my time alone, okay? But this is just the natural occurrence of what happens when you've gone through a form of trauma. Your brain starts to unwind. Sometimes it unwinds in the sleep state, like it comes out in dreams, or it manifests in just like memory flashes or whatever. Or in my case, not only does it go back to flashbacks, but sometimes I also get, because I'm very intuitive, I also get like thoughts that come through it. And I want to talk a little bit more about the issue of my blood relations. Now, I am estranged from my family. And it took a very long time. Like, if you guys have been watching my videos from the very beginning, like the very first video I made, I believe it was like in September of 2015. That's a very, very long time that I've been making these videos, because at first, originally I thought that what happened over at the farmer's place was just an independent issue, like it's something they didn't have any relation to what happened over at organized sports, and then a few other places, but nothing really that big. Okay, so I started realizing that there was a pattern to what was going on, and because it's very unusual, that somebody's going to be picking on you every fucking place you go. Like, it's just unusual. Okay, I understand, even if you're a minority, you might be the only black person in there, but the reality is people have seen black people before. Once they see you, they go back and they mind their own business most of the time. And yes, you do deal with racism in the workplace. Okay, it does happen, but you don't deal with it to that extent. Like, it's not that personal. Okay, but in my environments, in my experience, it's just the people that I had been around in my workplace were illogical and very strange about it. And so it took me a very long time to understand that I was being gang stalked, and I was being monitored, and I was being a victim of domestic stalking. As I started going back to my work life as an adult, I started to think back in my years as being a teenager, being a child, being this, and I kept thinking, this has been going on my entire life. And I started to realize that I was the black sheep of the family. I was the scapegoat, the family scapegoat, or whatever. So I started to realize and piece it together. Okay, now I since the farmer's place, and that was almost coming up in 2023. It'll be 10 years since I left the farmer's place, and it has been a nightmare. Even in times where it feels like I'm progressing in life, I still deal with the flashbacks. I still deal with the depression. It was traumatizing every step of the way. This is not a lie, okay? Every step of the way, it was just nothing but trauma. My feeling about what happened, I don't think I need to explain what happened. I don't think I need to. There is no way or reason or any sort of justification that anybody can ever tell me that there is some reason that you should treat somebody that, like that evil. I mean, in that manner. That is complete and utter dehumanization. Okay. But I'm going to say that I want to clear up some misconceptions. And it's very difficult to clear up misconceptions because there's a lot of people I have found in this situation, okay, that to me, I look at the world and I realize how corrupt it really is, okay? The very fact that people were turned against me and believed people, now this is, to me, it just boggles my mind how people could have vilified me for the amount of time that they did. Now, mind you, I have not dealt with any of that hostility in a very long time. Most people now are kind of talkative to me and whatever because it's turned around. But look how long it took me to clear my name. Okay, now I'm shocked because, yes, I had a child out of wedlock. Okay, but I don't think that warrants that sort of behavior, especially since the family abuse had been going on since I was a child. That's why it started like really like making me like, whoa. And when I realized what this was, what it meant, that my blood relations didn't care about what I needed personally to live. Like, it didn't matter to them what I don't want these people in a part of my life. You know, even before I realized that we were, that they were part of the gang stalking, like there were times when in the past where I went over to my sister's house, Lisa's house, okay, for like the holidays, okay, and believe me, I didn't go see my family very much when I moved here to Bakersfield, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, I had no idea that these people were causing me my problems at my workplace, because I'm the kind of person, if my life at work is no good, like I'm depressed and I'm constantly worried and stressed out, I am going to become a hermit. So I would sit here in my home, I mean, in one of my homes that I was living in, whatever. I would just be sitting here worried about, what's going on. People are acting weird at work. I'm getting abused at work. I'm getting bullied at work. What the fuck is going on? And didn't even know that the people that I was, I was gonna go see or felt bad about not seeing. I felt kind of bad not seeing my family for a long time, but I was so depressed about what was going on in my work life. I had no idea that they were a part of my work life, that they were orchestrating things behind the scenes. And then I started realizing that these people bring you over for dinner, they sit there and they talk about you, and and meanwhile they're holding the strings to your life. You know what I mean? I realized that what that meant. I remember when I could not, even now to this point, I cannot drive on the freeway for whatever reason. The thoughts start coming up to my brain, and it's literally, I was driving one time and I literally almost stroked out. That's how intense that thought was, that I am so shocked, devastated, disturbed by that sort of behavior, that somebody would do something like that. Like, they would literally make you do and live a way that you don't want to live. You know what I mean? Work jobs that you don't want to work, meet people, be around people that you want to work. If you wanted to go make friends, they would want to get involved with those friends. They want you to marry certain people, or they want that kind of thing. I mean, when I realized that I was a victim of human trafficking, okay, and who was doing it, when I found out my sister Lisa was doing this, because one time I went to my mom's house. I was staying there for a while because I had left my ex-husband, and I went to my house and I was sleeping over there for a while because I was going to move in with my mom to try to find a job in Lancaster. They knew all along that I was not going to be able to find a job in Lancaster because they were controlling my job. Okay, and so my sister calls me on the phone. She acts like she was pretending. She was crying, had these crocodile tears. It was very dramatic. And I realized my sister is lying to me. And then as she was talking to me, I felt like shards of glass were going through my brain because the intensity of my pain that I felt, that my sister would do this to me. Like, she was like destroying my life. This was my way of like making a living, and they were destroying this. I couldn't take it. I mean, it has been fucking hell from over and over and over again. Just the trauma. And so, I have built a little place for myself here, and I'm comfortable. Okay, I don't have a desire to be friends with these people. And I also understand that they have a belief system. They believe that incest is okay. Okay, I am not incestuous. Okay, but I also get the feeling that somehow or another, these people, some people don't realize that certain things are taboo. Okay, like certain things are taboo and you don't talk about them. Okay, you might engage in them, but you don't talk about them. And see, I don't believe in incest, okay? As a matter of fact, when I found out my ex-husband now had a relationship with his mother, and they weren't even blood relations, okay? It was just the fact that she had a maternal role and she thought it was okay to have sex with her son. To me, I needed to get the fuck out of there. And that's one of the reasons, and not just one of the reasons, because he was also had something to do with my employment. And I don't believe in that shit. You don't do that shit, okay? So I had to leave there. That's a form of abuse, okay? I am very weird about incest. I don't believe in it, okay? To me, if you practice incest, in my mind, okay, you're no different than a child molester or whatever. That's my standard of living. Now, don't get me wrong. I can go and make these different scenarios about incest, okay? Like, what if I lived next door to a family that they were incestuous? They were both consenting adults. This is just a scenario. They were both consenting adults, and this is what they did. Okay, they were decent people. They picked up their trash, and they never, intermingled with, like, I don't know. They never mingled in or budged into my what do you call it, personal life or whatever. Then you know what? You're fine. Okay, you're not doing anything. You're not harming anybody. You can do whatever you want to do. I am not ever going to do anything to harm you. If you ask me for a cup of sugar, I will give it to you. Okay, but when somebody tries to force themselves on you, when somebody tries to exploit you in a way, or try to associate with you in a way that you don't believe in, okay, to me, like I said, and I don't want to repeat myself, that's rapey. That's where it goes beyond that line of me tolerating it and just kind of accepting it or whatever. And I'm just downright, no, I don't want anything to do with that shit. Okay. Now, I also, and also I keep thinking now that I'm talking about this, it starts to think that, so this could have been some of the fucking reasons why people thought that so lowly of me. You know what I mean? Like they treated me like I was garbage. Okay, I don't believe in incest. But it seems like there's a lot of people who do. So I don't know if I'm being persecuted for not believing in it, or I'm being persecuted because for believing it or not believing in it, or am I getting persecuted because of just race or me being a female or whatever. I'm confused sometimes because there's so many reasons that people use to justify to attack me over this bullshit that these people created. You know what I mean? As far as the Collins family is concerned, that would be my son's family. And I'm just getting this shit out of my head because this is the Unwind. I don't want to think about this sort of shit, okay? But this is the scenario, okay? While I was trafficked, in the heart of my trafficking, okay, I was placed in jobs where I was in isolation. Okay, the only people that made any effort to talk to me, because when you're in isolation and these people control your shit, they make sure people don't talk to you. And the only people who do talk to you, that come around to you, are perps, people who want to dig and extract information from you. So I knew what these people were, and I wanted them to leave the fuck alone. Okay, I had already been through enough trauma, and it is traumatizing losing your job. And it is traumatizing knowing that somebody was manipulating your employment. You're going to make me do things I don't fucking want to do. That's abuse. Okay? Okay, I don't believe in that lifestyle. I'm disturbed by it. Okay? I don't believe in incest. And I know there's probably a lot of people in this community that practice incest. Because I will tell you, if my ex-husband had no problem fitting in socially, then it's obviously an environment that might be possibly open to incest. And if that's the case, then you know what? They have the right to do that. If they're consenting adults, if that's what they want to do, that's nothing. And I'm not even judging them on that. Okay? But when you try to force that shit on me, now we have a fucking problem. Okay? I don't want anything to do with that. Okay? And I certainly don't want people ever telling me what kind of jobs